West Ham wants Arsenal's special player, but Arsenal is going to demand 60 million for him. Thierry Henry rips into one of our centre-back and said it's his fault why we lost this match. And journalist says that he was told that the £35 million signing would play in a different position. What up, what's up guys? Welcome back to Rob's Arsenal Recap, and in this video we're just going to delve into the latest Arsenal news, the latest news surrounding the club as of today. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you like, subscribe and share and help me on my journey to 100 subs. So in one of the latest news of the day, we see that West Ham are interested in signing Smith-Rowe, and this source is reported from Team Talk, which claimed the Gunners would want 60 million to let the 23-year-old go. Now for me, I don't want Smith-Rowe to go. For Smith-Rowe is only 23 years old, just turned 23, and he's gonna be one of our most important players in the future. That's why we gave him the number 10. He's gonna be very, very important. We've made a song for him. We've got all close ties with him. Everyone that comes through the Alien Academy, us fans have a deep-rooted connection with, and Smith-Rowe is no exception, right? So Smith-Rowe, he came through the academy, he's been brilliant. We gave him the number 10, we gave him a new contract. Now I don't believe we should let him go. I remember a few seasons ago we tried to sign Ben Buendia, and for me Smith-Rowe is a better version of Ben Buendia. No, I'm not saying Buendia is a bad player, but I believe that Smith-Rowe is better, and he has the potential to be even better than what he is right now. It's just that the thing is, he always gets some injuries, and it's always some weird injuries. It's always at the wrong time as well. So for me, his injuries has been what's been holding him back, because we saw when he burst onto the scene. For me, at one point he was playing better than Saka. When he just came into the team at one point, when we gave him the number 10 shirt that season, he was banging in goals. I remember him score against Tottenham, score against Man United. He was banging in goals. So for me, Smith-Rowe needs to stay in the team. Now, it's down to Arteta how soon or how quickly integrate him, because I've seen people saying that, oh, Arteta has an agenda against Smith-Rowe, he needs to play him. I understand all the concern. However, I believe that Arteta is trying to manage him in terms of his fitness, in terms of he's so injury prone. You have to be delicate with him. For me, Smith-Rowe is like an egg, and if you keep on treating an egg rough, then it's gonna break at some point, and that's how he is. Unfortunately, he's just one of those players. It's just injury prone, just like Thomas Partey. And for me, Thomas Partey, I think he overestimates. No, let me just scrap that from now. Thomas Partey is a very good player, right? Let me get that clear. Thomas Partey is a very good player, and he will continue to be a good player because he has that ability and he will never go away. However, at times I believe that he's not brave enough, he's not courageous enough in certain matches, especially when it comes into title run-ins. I don't think he's brave. I think he's weak-hearted, he's weak-minded when it comes down to title challenge, but not to take away from his brilliance. He's a brilliant technical player, he's a brilliant gifted footballer, he's brilliant. But when it comes down to the crunch time, I believe that this is one of the reasons why we got Declan Rice, because for 2 seasons in a row, Partey's been missing. Now, last season, he was in the team coming down to the crunch time, but he wasn't performing well. He kept giving ball for the last 5 to 6 matches. Partey was one of our worst players, if not the worst player. So for me, Partey, yeah, he's one of those players. He's injury prone, but we see his quality, and I would keep him in my team. I would have him basically at certain matches having playing a 2, him and Declan Rice, certain matches making Declan Rice having a rest. But I won't necessarily always start Declan Rice and Partey. I will most of the time rest Partey. And I see that in the summer, Partey wanted to move to Saudi Arabia. I don't know how true the story is, if it was his agent or it was just rumors or it was him personally. I don't know what the story was about it, but we see him being linked in the summer with a move to the Saudi Arabia. So I'm saying that he needs to understand himself. He needs to know that he's at one of the biggest clubs in the world. I understand that the money is enticing. The Saudi money is very enticing. And boy, if that was me, it would be a struggle, right? It would be a struggle, even though I'm an Arsenal fan at that age, because he's past his prime. So at that age, you look to secure the biggest bag you can. So I understand all that. But he has to understand that he's an injury-prone player. But then again, if Saudi comes in for you, give you big wages, and knowing that you're a injury-prone player, then, boy, that's a win-win for him. But I believe that he needs to understand that he's an injury-prone player, and at a big club, because Saudi club ain't a big club like Arsenal, right? So he's at one of the biggest club in the world, and to be at one of the biggest club in the world is a privilege, and I believe he understands that. But he needs to understand that because of his injury record, this is why Declan Rice is going to be basically over him. Declan Rice is a younger version, a better version for me, because he's more consistent. Partey, he would have 5 brilliant matches, then after that, it's starting to decline. We can't try to progress towards a Premier League and a Champions League title with inconsistency in the base of our midfield. That's one of the things we need to get rid of. So on Smith-Rowe, coming back to Smith-Rowe now, I believe that we need him. We need Smith-Rowe because we see in that left A position, Havertz is a good player for me, right? I believe in Havertz, and I believe he will come good. I believe it will start getting better, but he's not attacking like Smith-Rowe. We see when Smith-Rowe played against Brentford, he's on the box, threading through players, beating players, dribbling through. That's what he brings to our team. He's that direct dribbler that goes direct to the opponent, and this is what we need in the team. We need a variation of attacking methods. Odegaard is a passer. He doesn't dribble through 3-4 players in an attacking sense. Trossard does that. Martinelli does that, but in the center, in the attacking mid area, in the left or right attacking mid, we don't have that player apart from Smith-Rowe. So I believe it would be a big mistake for us to get rid of Smith-Rowe, even though he's injury prone. And I know that some fans might say, oh, we can replace him with a less injury prone player and a better player. But for me, Smith-Rowe is one of the best players in that position. And some might think I'm overestimating Smith-Rowe's ability, and I don't believe I am. I just believe that we've forgot. Anyone that says that said otherwise to what I said, I think that person has forgotten how brilliant he was when he just burst onto the scene. He was one of the best players in the Premier League at that time, and he was still about 21 those times, right? So imagine with all those experiences, right? With all those, because obviously he grows. Every player grows when he's training, even when he's injured, watching clips of himself. He trains, he improves. The older you get, the wiser. All these things added together, he's going to be a better player. So for me, it's a no-no to West Ham. So Tierney was quoted that the space never scores a goal. He's referencing to William Saliba. Can you have a look at where your striker is? If you go back to the last angle, he never looks at where the number 9 is. Only 9 can score there, or the winger can come inside. Saliba never looks to what he does, never looks. I have never seen space scoring goal. So that's Thierry Henry, very critical of his France basically compatriot. He's very critical of him. And when I just saw the match, I made a critic that I believe it was a Declan Rice fault. But when I watch the clips again, I can understand where Thierry is coming from, because Gabriel had a player, right? And there was Gabriel and it was Gabriel and Saliba, and Gabriel already marked a player. So it was down to Saliba to look. And I agree with Thierry that he should have been aware of why he was going with him, and then he pulled off and looked for the cutback. So Saliba should have known where he was. I agree with that. But on the other hand, I believe that it's a mix-up. It can go 50-50. I think it's 50-50. But to be honest, it's more on Saliba's side. But Declan Rice, he saw that the players in front of him. So if you can see the player is in your line of sight, you should be able to react quicker. So that's why I would say it would be, for me, more Declan Rice's fault than Saliba's fault, because the player's behind him. Yes, Saliba is wrong for not scanning the behind him and seeing where the player was. That's his responsibility. That's his duty. However, taking that away, Declan Rice was in that position and could see both Wahi and the ball coming in. And that's one of the things he's known for, the anticipation, right? And to know exactly where the ball is going to be. This is why he has so much interceptions. So for me, that's the only reason why I blame Declan Rice. But I understand where Thierry is coming from, and I can't really criticize Thierry from having that opinion, because really and truly, Saliba should have known why he was. But saying that, as I used to play as defender, and it only takes a split second for attacker to deceive you. You be following the same direction, keeping your eyes, and it only took a split second. By the time you look back again, he's way off. And for you to react to that, it's a delayed time. It's a delayed reaction. So once again, I don't really blame Saliba. Yes, he should have been scanning more probably. But even if he was scanning more, why he is a very agile player. He was swift enough to backtrack and beat and still get a shot on goal and beating Saliba to the ball. So for me, this critic was a bit harsh, but I see where Thierry is coming from. So journalist Charles Watt said it's a good one, and it's one I've been surprised about since he signed. When he first arrived, I remember being told in a conversation that he was being earmarked for that role in the Arsenal team, certainly to play minutes there, but we just haven't seen it. I am surprised because I think he has all the ability to play that role and play it very well. He plays in midfield for the Ukraine and he's excellent there. That's Charles Watt's opinion. That's Charles Watt's take. And we know that some of these journalists have influence, or they have basically people inside and around the club. And he was told by a reliable source that Zinchenko was coming to play midfield. And I can see that. To be honest, I can really see that, because the last few, potentially, when Timber came in, Zinchenko was injured, right? So we did not get to see a fluid team with Zinchenko and Timber together. And when I saw this article, I'm thinking, could it be that Arteta got Timber to play left back while Ben White is playing right back, and Zinchenko play in midfield? Now, if Ben White is injured or tired, then Timber was slotting at right back because he's very good across the line. But I started to think, because we know that that's one of our deficiencies at left back, especially when Zinchenko was playing, because he's not capable defensively. He's not very capable. So when I started to read this article, then I started to see the last few matches. Zinchenko has been inverting a lot. When I mean a lot, I mean a lot. So the stress or the pressure is mostly on Gabriel to cover two positions. And it started to click, because then I started to see Zinchenko do certain passes. I'm thinking, wow, he's doing. When in the last two post-match analysis I've done, I showed the passing lanes, and Zinchenko is on par with Odegaard with his passes. Zinchenko is switching the ball. Zinchenko is chipping ball over the top for a left back, inverting. That's very technical. Those are very technical skills. So I see he used to play inverted, but he's never been trying to do involving the final third, involving attacking play this much. He's always used to dribble, pass off, but now he's trying to dictate. Now he's trying to basically be an assist to the forwards in goal scoring situations. So this is how I see that potentially when Timber comes back and we have a full squad, I can see Zinchenko partnering with Declan Rice. Now, where does Partey play? And that's the question I think that Mikel need to answer, right? But potentially I can see that's an option. I'm not saying it's going to be every match, but it's an option. Now, who knows? It could be anything where Arteta plays Partey sometimes at inverted right back and Zinchenko at inverted left back. I love these experiments. I don't want to see him experiment in a very high stake match. In a match that like Carabao Cup or the FA Cup where we have a lower team, I would love to see an experiment like this, right? Because if it works, and it works brilliantly, we can use that in Champions League and we can use it in the Premier League. If Zinchenko is inverting to the left and Partey is inverting from the right, and Declan Rice sit in the middle, that's three midfield-minded players. And we see that Partey can do his thing at right back. He's just not quick enough to get back. So if we can have that, and Zinchenko inverting in the left, and Saliba and Magalhaes cover both, and Odegaard plays in attacking mid, that's a mad formation. That's something you want to try in FIFA, right? That's something when that came to mind, I'm thinking, whoa, that's something Arteta needs to try, because he's a revolutionary, right? So he tries stuff that we don't normally expect. So I would love to see something like that. And even if it is not a formation like that, but to try Zinchenko in the middle when Timber comes back, there's nothing to lose because he's left-footed. And he's a better replacement. Now, we can also take Havertz out of the team sometimes and have Zinchenko play in this position. Because Zinchenko, that's where he plays for Ukraine. We can take Havertz out and have two in midfield with Declan Rice and Zinchenko and Odegaard. Now, Declan Rice can play box to box and they rotate between him and Zinchenko. We've been crying out for a midfield of Declan Rice and Partey, but Have we ever thought of a midfield with Partey, with Declan Rice and Zinchenko and Odegaard playing up top? Now, for me, I love to think about these things, and I would love to see Arteta giving a try a formation like this, because for me, these are the things that we need to do to progress as a team. We see City done it time and time again, playing different. Pep always be trying different stuff. Pep always tinkering, never happy, always trying to evolve, always trying to improve. Never been complacent in where he's at or how good his team is playing, but always looking to improve, because there's always another level you can go. So that's the video there, and then guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment in the comment box below. Let me know your thoughts about Smith-Rowe. Should we try to get as much money as we can and get another player that's less injury prone? That's a viable option, right? That's a viable opinion. That opinion is not the worst, right? But for me, I would keep Smith-Rowe. So let me know your thoughts on this video. Catch you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.